What's up? What's up? Gonna go ahead and try and get this stream rolling here. You guys, I have something I need to do today. It's kind of urgent, so may have to end the stream early, depending on if I get this phone call. But if I do, we'll pick up right where we left off at. Uh, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll get started here today. Just trying to pull up my chat. So 87. We got 87. We got 87 points for Duke here. It's at 74 for Carolina. That's just how things are breaking down right now. Uh, the way things are going, I don't know. Because we still got 3 seasons. Carolina could win the title this year and catch right back up. They got a pretty decent roster. Duke's is good too, but we'll see. We'll see. But we did have a guy get inducted into this Hall of Fame of mine. So Stanislav Ngesu. He's an Eastern European African from Cleveland, Ohio. His national rank was 236, which is the lowest national rank of anybody who is in this Hall of Fame. He was ranked 35 at his position, which is power forward. He was a redshirt senior, achieved a final overall of 93, wore the number 45. If you look at his stats, they're not really anything to blow you away. I've got them listed here on the left. Not really anything that blows you away. And you're like, well, dang, how'd a guy play at Carolina and make the Hall of Fame with these kind of stats? Well, you got to look at what he achieved over here on the right. So he has a final legacy score of 58. That legacy score that was accumulated through his 4 NCAA tournament appearances, 3 appearances in the Sweet 16, 2 appearances in the Elite 8, 1 national championship, a Final Four, MOP, a National Defensive Player of the Year, a selection as a second team All-American, 2 ACC tournament titles, and 2 ACC regular season titles during his time at North Carolina. He also won 1 ACC Player of the Year and was first team All-ACC twice. So those are some real accolades there. That's how he got there. He really did accomplish a lot. His score was almost up to 60, so it was well earned. Well earned. Let's go ahead and let's get into this. Let's break down these rosters. Duke's roster. Really going to be going with a 2-man game here. I got 2 guys here I really like, Brazel and Saunders. If you remember, they both came in as 87 overall freshmen. Saunders, he didn't do what I was expecting him to do last year, but hopefully he can take a step up and just be a better player this year. Really like his intangibles. If you're looking at right corner, look at his consistency, offensive and defensive awareness. He's got some skill. Crazy rebounder. He should be really good this year. He should be really good for us. Then Brazel here, he's going to take the shots. I got this guy shooting shots. His shot off dribbles in 90s, 3-pointers in 96. Crank that 3-point tendency all the way up. I mean, him and Saunders should be close to averaging like 20 a game apiece. Then I got everybody else here just kind of doing what they're good at. Sinville shooting some middies. That's the bulk of what he's doing. Rasmussen doing a little bit of everything, just a little bit. Auger here is going to be our anchor in the middle. Really hope we don't have any injuries, because if so, this walk-on from England is going to have to play center if we have an injury at center. Look at the freshmen we're bringing in. There's 3 of them. Well, there's more than 3. There's a couple. There's a couple. All right, let's look at these guys. All right, there's 4. So this guy was an All-American here. Redshirted him because he's at 75 overall, but he was an All-American, number 1 small forward, number 12 overall. He'll be playing that point forward spot for us one day, hopefully. Then we got this center here, 7'2", good size, pause. Hoping he'll end up just being a 5-year guy who can contribute. Then the two key pieces of this recruiting class right here, this point guard, number 1 overall player, yep. And looks like he's maybe a good shooter, good athlete. Nothing else really stands out with him. Good defender. And lastly, this guy right here, do like him, 6'6", shooting guard, can get to the rim. Nothing really stands out as far as his offensive game. Decent defender, good athlete. So we got some good pieces here. And I feel like I want to keep this the same. I feel like I want to. Let's actually turn the defensive pressure up and turn this up. Let's do that. Let's do that. Then we'll take a look at the not the Dukies, at the Tar Heels. Like their roster. So this is what we're going with for the rotation here. Nicholson, who he got moved into the starting rotation last year. King was coming off the bench. They're going to be our backcourt. I think they'll provide some solid scoring. Not too much, but some solid scoring. Clinton's going to be our guy on the perimeter, though. Expecting him to really be the lead scorer for the team. Expecting a lot out of him. Then Warden would probably be our key front court guy. Little bit of a stretch 4 here, and I think he'll be really good in that role. So between Clinton and Warden, they're going to do the bulk of the offensive work for us this year. Then we've got this guy right here, Marquise Smalls. Says he's a top pick. I hope he comes back, but he's an 87 overall, 82 consistency, 7 foot tall sophomore. Hope he comes back for another year. But looking for him to anchor the middle and score some points. I mean, not expecting him to do as much as these two, but I am expecting him to score the ball. We got guard, wing, big here. Real drop off at this 8 slot here. And we don't have the number of bigs we normally do. So if we get a big out, it's really going to hurt our rotation. It really is. So hoping that doesn't happen. This is our next big off the bench. So really hoping that doesn't happen. And ideally, I would have liked to redshirt this guy, but I can't because, I mean, if someone gets hurt, then what's going to happen? Actually, do I want to redshirt him anyway? Do I want to redshirt? I don't, because if someone gets hurt, he might have to play. I will take a look at the recruits. So Carolina here. Got 2 scholarships, so I'm hoping I'll end up signing this guy. We'll have to see what happens. What he do in the ABL? 12 and 12, just really good. 48 from the field. 3 stocks. Looks like a good player. Then we got this guy here. I'm going to recruit him because he's one of those Canada players. Hopefully they don't go for him, but I'm going to recruit him. And I have 2 backups here. So these are my top 2 choices, but I have 2 backups. This point guard here from Staten Island. And then this center here from Cary, North Carolina. Hopefully I can land these guys. Hopefully I can land them. But I'm going to have to recruit all 4 of these guys pretty hard because I don't know what's going to happen with my top 2 selections. Recruiting has just been kind of tough here with Carolina. It's been kind of tough. Then we'll take a look at Duke's recruiting. So Duke, we're actually going to make a decision here because we only have 1 scholarship. We have 1. We have these 2 guys right here. If you look at them, very comparable. Very comparable. Now, we have the number 2 and the number 7 player, number 1 small forward, number 2 shooting guard. Potential's the same. Our small forward, I'm going to call him Vis, and our shooting guard, I'm going to call him Bar. Vis is a little bit better IQ, decent amount better rebounder, better athlete. They're same defensively, but offensively, Barlow's a much better player. That's what this tells us. But then when I go look at their scouting, what I've scouted here, his offense doesn't really look that good. His consistency is a C+. Athletics, I mean, they're not that good. Whereas when I go here to Vis, good consistency, His 3-point rank's higher. His mid rank's higher. He's got better shot off dribble. Now in terms of the actual rating, it scales. So his is probably not as good, but they're marginally better in terms of positional rating. And he's a better athlete. So I think I'm gonna just take him because we've only got one scholarship. Either guy that I went for, I would have got. And this guy's like more of a lock too, so I'm just get rid of him and reallocate this scholarship. And I think there's a sophomore I want to reallocate this to. So there's these two shooting guards at 6'4". Didn't get to scout this guy this year because he didn't play, but this guy, scouted him. He shot 34% from three. Looks to be a decent player. I think I'm gonna add the other guy right now. Do I want to add the other guy right now? Honestly, I think I'm gonna let both of them go because I got enough guys. I got 5 guys on. Well, I can add one more. I'm gonna add the other guy, and we can scout him while we're recruiting players. But we'll go ahead and we'll get started with the season here. Duke starts out at number 2. North Carolina starts out at number 9. Duke here, decent amount of chemistry. Rasmussen, our point guard, doesn't have game experience like that. That's a concern. Zenville's a redshirt junior, so he's been here. This is his 4th year, but he doesn't have a lot of playing time. Same thing for Ager as well. So Saunders and Brazel are really going to have to carry the load for us, Pauls. Like, they're really going to have to do it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I want to leave that where it is. And maybe we'll do occasional 3/4 quarter press. Actually, let's do after basket. Alright. So let's go ahead and do Duke's recruiting. Theirs is going to be simple enough. We're just going for this guy. We're probably going to land him. Carolina is going to be a different story. We're going to have to recruit all 4 of these guys. Hope Carolina lands these guys, man, because it just doesn't look the best for us right now. It just doesn't look the best. Alright, so let's see who these 2 shooting guards right here. Scout these guys. So he's a good defender. Okay. I feel like I need to, because how many points I got? I got 48. I feel like I need to do another backup guy. I feel like there was a good world recruit here somewhere. Maybe I was tripping. Yeah, I was tripping hard. It's not a good world recruit. I think I need bigs. I need bigs. Oh, this was the guy I was thinking of. Oh, then there's this guy. Let's recruit this guy. And this world recruit. Worst come to worst, I'll just get the world recruit. Oh, wow. Got a guy here in Chapel. 967. I'm good on that, Cuddy. Good on that. So let's see what happens with these recruits. Going to go ahead and sim forward. Recruiting with North Carolina has been a struggle. We did have a really good recruiting class a little while ago, but aside of that, it's been a little bit of a struggle. So I do think we're going to get this guy. I'll just have to change some guys around, I think. Yeah, I think I'll just have to change some guys around. But I do think we're going to get him. That's good. Syracuse is going to recruit this guy. I might have to change some positions, but I think we might could get this guy. Alright, then this is a good backup. I think I'm gonna keep him. I think I'm gonna keep them both as backups. And I think we're good after that. I think we're good after that. So we might get our top 2 targets. We just might. I think we're good. I'm not going to recruit those other guys I was looking at. I think we're good. Let me see if that's a wise decision. Where are these other 2 cats at? Yeah, I'm not going to waste time on him. And the world recruit, we'll get him just because. So. Then Duke. Again, this is fairly easy. We're going to just... This guy's going to sign. Alright, so Duke and Carolina both have home games scheduled for Saturday to kick off the season against some lower tier competition. Duke plays Boston University. Carolina plays UNC Asheville. They dusted them. Warden 37-5, 4 steals. Man had a game. Clinton had a decent game. Smalls is going to have to play better than that. So he's a lottery pick. He might come back. Clinton's the top pick. So right now, Smalls is the only guy that might leave early. And it would suck if he left early because we would be really good next year. We would be really, really good. We would be really, really good. Yeah, we're going to sign that power forward. We're going to get him. He's ours. His center, kind of worried about. We'll have to see because I got like 3 centers on the team. So once I change his position, once I change those 3 guys' position, we might jump Syracuse. But right now, it's not looking too hot. Then these other guys here, it looks like we're in the lead for them. Yeah. So worst case scenario, we don't sign him, and we get one of these other guys. Who I would want, I don't know, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Again, Duke. Just recruiting this guy. Who is the #1 player? Point guard out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Looking like he'll go to Texas. And Duke and Carolina are both scheduled for some tournaments this week. Let's see how they fare. So Duke wins both of their games. What's this? Stephen F. Austin. Remember, real life, they upset Duke maybe like, what was that, 4 or 5 years ago? And they beat Alabama State by 12. So Saunders had 20 and 7 here. Brazel had 13. Brazel had 15 here. Saunders didn't play his best game. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We might need to play faster. Might need to play faster. Let's try this. Because I wasn't too impressed with what they did there. Again, do the recruiting. We should get this guy fairly easy. Carolina, they won their 2 games. I believe this was like the Hanger Challenge or something like that. Warden and Clinton, they're doing what I expected them to do with this 2-man game. Nicholson had a good game as well, 14, 5, and 6. And they're dominating. Dominated Charleston Southern. And again, more of what we're expecting to see. Mascoli had a good game off the bench for us here. Let's do our recruiting. Yeah, so I think we're going to sign this guy. I think we're going to sign him. This guy right here, though, not so sure about. We'll see what happens with him. Good thing, though, is we have options. We have options. And some good options at that. I'm not going to simulate all games because I don't want this Columbia game to simulate before I can do my recruiting actions. So Duke plays Villanova, who was number 14. Then they play Virginia. We'll see what Duke was able to do. Oh, Duke plays Arizona State as well. So Duke's had a pretty decent amount of games, which is good because they need to get their game experience. So, see what North Carolina did. They blanked UNCW here. So, North Carolina hasn't played any good teams up to this point, but they've played well. And here they're in the Maui Invitational, and in the next round, after they beat Columbia, okay, that's going to be an easy game, they'll get USC, then they'll get the winner of, so they'll probably get Kansas here. Yeah, they'll probably get Kansas or LSU. So we're going to see what they're made of in these next two games. We're going to see what they are made of. Right. And Duke went undefeated in that stretch. Okay, 4-point win against Villanova. This guy for Villanova had 15 and 15. He's having a good season. Auger combated him with 18 and 5. Brazel had 20. 13 and 8 for Auger. Then against Virginia, who did really good last year in the sim. They had a point guard who was like really good. No, shooting guard. It looks like that guy's gone. I don't think they have as good of players. They're recruiting decent. But Auger had 20 and 8. Saunders 17. So, Brazel, we're gonna need more out of you though. We'll need some more out of you. Then against Arizona State, blanked them. Brazel 27. That's what I'm talking about. Saunders 11 and 9. We'll go ahead and do Duke's recruiting, which again is fairly easy and simple. Just this one guy who's pretty much a guaranteed commit. They'll get Penn State in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. They got Georgia Mason here. So Duke has been tested, and they're going to get tested a little bit more because these are decent teams. They're not run over teams. Then they got Seton Hall at home. Play Louisville at home. St. Bonaventure is decent. Carolina. So after this tournament, they'll play Ohio State at home, who's pretty good. First ACC opener against Florida State, who's pretty good. What's Richmond looking like? They're all right. So we'll see. I already did Carolina's recruiting action. So let's see what North Carolina does in this tournament. In the first round, they destroy Columbia. We had an injury, and it's one we couldn't afford here. Marquise Smalls goes down, and we lose to USC. Ouch. All right, let's see how we're gonna handle this, boys. And I think this is really about the only way we can. This guy's gonna have to see minutes. I mean, there's no way around it. He's gonna have to see minutes. He's going to have to see minutes, and they're going to have to play a lot of the game. This is tough. And who do they got in the next round? They'll have LSU or St. John's. Probably St. John's, who's not that great of a team. So at least there's that. Maybe they can reel off the win there. But I was looking forward to seeing Carolina be tested in the stretch here, but we don't have our full roster, so I don't really know what I'm going to be able to take away from it. It's not going to be what I wanted to take away, which is the truth, but it is what it is. Beat St. John's by, 11 points. Warden 29 and 10. Warden might be the guy, man. Yeah, he might be the guy. All right, let's see how we're looking with these recruits. Yeah, I think we're pretty much going to get the power forward. We may get the center. And regardless, we're good on a backup. So we'll simulate right before the signing period, and then we'll see where we're at with those guys. We'll have to definitely do position changes for center. Duke still undefeated. Beat George Mason by 10. Who's again a decent team. Alright, so let's advance forward to this Saturday. Duke wins their ACC Big Ten Challenge game, and now they'll face their biggest test of the season so far. They'll go and play at home against number 9 ranked Seton Hall in a top 10 matchup. Blue Devils are ranked number 1. North Carolina, shorthanded, was still able to beat Ohio State. Warden has been a beast. He's been a beast. I might need to up his usage. I think I am a little bit. I think I am. Because that guy is eating. He is eating. Let's up it a little bit across the board. He can do just a little bit more. Let's up the close shots all the way up though. I'll just do a little bit more across the board. He's averaging 20. Maybe it'll go up. But we're going to have to do some position changes for Carolina. Change these centers to point guards. And this is so we can land at center prospect from Canada, because we're going to need them. Let's see where we rank. See where we rank with the kid now. Let's go ahead and change the power forward too, just to confirm we get them. It's because recruiting's been so tough for Carolina. We're now number 1 for that center, so we are going to get them. That's good. Because we need these guys. We'll add 2 bigs. Alright. And I do think our guy, he may be back from injury before the Florida State game. He will. He will. So we can go ahead. Well, let's check the recruiting to make sure. But yeah, we signed him. Now, let's see. Let's redistribute target list spots. There are 2. I want to add those 2 shooting guards. Then we need some freshmen as well. For a couple freshmen I recruited. See how many sophomores? Yeah, that's about the right amount. We might have too many juniors to keep it a band. Might want to get rid of some of these guys. This is sad. We won't get this guy from Chapel Hill, but that's dead works, man. I'm gonna let that go. And I might get rid of one more. Miami's recruiting their tail off, ain't they? We probably ain't landing that guy. I think I'm going to get rid of this guy. And we'll just have these guys. That way we can do a couple more freshmen here. So I definitely want to add him. And do I want to add... Who do I want to add? Let's add this guy. I think we're good for Carolina. Let's go back and change these guys back. I do know it's a little cheesy, but man, that's what gets the job done. It's what gets the job done. Let's see. I believe he was a center. Yeah, he's our backup center. Hopefully he'll be good. And improve some as the season wears on. Because we need him to. Got another guy here. I think this guy's red shirting. Who else we got here? Warden. Definitely. He's a power forward. Warden is a good player. He's a really good player. And who else we got here? Skeeter. I think that's it. That's it. Nah, where's Smalls at, man? I know I didn't release Smalls from the team, did I? Oh, no, he's right here. Okay, I was like, huh? It's like, huh? Where is he? Alright, let's just make sure we ain't got nobody missing. Sort them by height. See where their position lies. And this is where it's supposed to be. Alright, yeah, because we didn't have that many bigs. Didn't have that many. So yeah, I think it's where it's supposed to be at. Yep, where it's supposed to be. Alright. I think Smalls might be back for this game here, but first let's make sure Duke signed their guy. I'm sure they did. Yeah, they did. See, let's add this freshman. We need to add one. Let's add this guy. We need to add one. Alright, so we'll simulate up to this game against Seton Hall. Top 10 matchup, two undefeated teams. Let's see what Duke does. It's this Big East opponent. We get blanked at home. Get blanked at home. Saunders had a terrible game. Son, you're supposed to be a top pick in this draft. You're not good, man. I'm having to rely too heavily on you, and you're just not getting it done. Alright, let's see if Carolina can get their guy back. Is he back? Can he get a warm-up game? And he will. Smalls will get a warm-up game at home. Let's see. Alright, let's see what happens. North Carolina back at full strength here. Let's see what happens in this game. And blanked them. So Carolina's looking good, man. They are looking good. They are looking good. Let's simulate forward to the beginning of ACC play. So we're going to go right here to the 6th. This will be the last game before ACC play starts. Officially, we got a little primer here. North Carolina going to take on Florida State, and they'll take an L as well at home. Now they'll move on to a game against Buffalo at home. They blank Buffalo. So that Florida State team, they are a good team. So sky's not falling. Sky's not falling. We'll see what we do against Colgate. The Colgate Raiders here. Duke has an injury, so we're going to stop. Let's actually simulate this game since we're already here. Alright, so we blank Colgate. Warden, good game, 16-10. Clinton, 17-4-7 against Buffalo. Good team effort. What happened against Florida State? Warden had 22. They didn't commit a lot of turnovers. We got out-rebounded mightily. Mightily. That's what happened. We hit a lot of threes, too. I mean, they must have ate off second chance points. That's what I would assume happened. That's what I would assume. So it's Duke with the injuries here. And it comes at bad timing. Saunders is down, and Duke has to play Louisville. Centerville with a 25-5 game against New Hampshire. Against UNCG. Saunders had 16-5 before he went out with the injury. Brazel 17. Brazel 16. Saunders 16-12. We're going to have to play Louisville, who is a good team. They haven't performed as well as they would hope, but they are a good team. So we're going to have to see what we're going to do here. I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to start Sinville here at the 4, which is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to start him at the 4. And then just turn it all the way up. So let's put another shooting guard in here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Then we'll just turn the offensive tempo all the way up. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to play 4 round 1 and just kind of see what happens. We're going to crash the boards. We're going to see what happens here. Might want to turn it up a little bit more. Because this team was not built to deal with an injury. We're not built for that. Barton, he's our only big off the bench. Otherwise, Booma would have to start here. What would his overall be if I moved him back to small forward? Where would he be? He'd be an 81. I'm going to keep him at small forward. Alright, so we'll see what happens. How long is Saunders projected to be out? 18 days, so that's 14, 15. So he'll be back for ACC play. See what Duke does in the absence of Saunders here. Even though they won their 2 games, they lost the top player, so of course they're going to drop. Let's see what happens against Louisville. And we win 61-74. That was a really good Louisville team. Blank Maine, the Maine Bears. Shout out to Flag. And shout out to Woj as we lose to St. Bonaventure. Ah, that's ugly. So Duke's going to drop down to number 8 before we get into ACC play here. See, let's simulate up to this game just so we can be sure Saunders is back and we can kind of reset the lineup. Alright, so do like how it's looking already. Think of what I want to do here. In these minutes. Let's take one off a symbol. Alright. So the rotation is reset. Let's look at how our individual performers have been doing. Brazel's leading the way with 16 here. I might need him to take more shots. I don't, because his consistency ain't that good. What are his percentages? If they're good, I'll have him shoot more. Alright, let's have him shoot more. Brazel, I need you to step up because your boy, he's not doing it. Every time you see a 3, I need you to take it. That's what we're going to do here for Brazel. Go with motion here. Let's go here. Let's go with this. It's crazy I'm talking all this smack about Duke, but they've been really good. Carolina takes another L to Richmond. Not a good game for the Tar Heels. Outside of that, though, they've been really good. Clinton 28-4 there. Warden's been just playing his butt off, man. Like he's been a star performer. But we're going to get an ACC play here. Maryland, we have destroyed Maryland. We have killed that program. They are not good, not one bit. Virginia's coming up in their place. Who else is good in our conference? State should be all right. Yeah, they respectable. Clemson's getting good. They had some good recruiting classes. And Miami looks like they should be starting to get good. Oh, they got the Nevada coach. They ain't got no choice. Whatever school he goes to, he always does good. So we're going to simulate up to the first Duke Carolina game here. See how we feel. See what the league outlook is projected to be. Alright, I'm going to have to stop because I don't know what they got going on there. They gave me that message. Warden went crazy. Duke beat Virginia. What? Yeah. I don't know what they did there, but that was not it. Not it. What does Duke's overall look like? Offense and shooting is through the roof. Rebounding is alright. It kind of makes me feel like I should play a super fast pace, which I think I am. I think I am going to do that. I think that's what we're going to do. Alright, we'll simulate up to this first Carolina game and see what happens. North Carolina's got a big matchup there. Duke blanks Maryland. And lose to Florida State at home. That'll be their third loss of the season. Florida State might be at the top of the ACC standings with wins against Duke and Carolina. That was a game. 116 to 110. 126 total combined points. Duke put up 122 here. All right, I might be onto something. I might have unlocked Sanders. He's at 29-9 there. Brazel had 18. Off the bench, Shepard had 26-8. He was 6 for 6 from 3. This was a ridiculous game here. Sanders 31-14. I might have unlocked him. Maybe I won't run it enough. Brazel had I think even though we lost this game to Florida State, I like how this team is really looking now. That's good. So through the first 20 games, they're 17-3. Saunders averaging 17-8, looking like the guy he's supposed to look like. Brazel averaging 16. What are their percentages? They're both shooting really good from the field. Brazel shooting 45 from 3. Auger shooting 55 from the field. Okay. Shepard and Barton both shooting above 40% from 3. Shepard doing it on pretty good volume. All right. And Carolina, they took one more L in that simulation period, and that was to Georgia Tech. Rough game there. But outside of that, they've been pretty good. Defeated Maryland here. Warden went off. And they've looked solid. But now they got a big time matchup here against the Dukies, who's been carrying the day for the Tar Heels. Warden at 19-6, averaging 2 blocks as well. Clinton averaging 15, 4, and 3. Smalls has played decent. Hope he comes back because I don't feel like we're getting the most out of him. What are these guys shooting from the field? Warden he's playing insane. He's shooting 53% from the field and 51 from 3. And those are both on good volume. What's his free throw percentage? Man, I wish he would shoot 90% from the free throw. There are never any 90% free throw shooters on this game. Never. Never. Alright. Wow, that's insane. Makes me feel like I need to have him shooting more. Really makes me feel like he needs to shoot more. He's already shooting a lot. See, maybe Saunders needs to shoot more too now that I've upped the offense for Duke. I don't want to edit his, I don't want to edit none of that. Alright, let's see. This should be a great game here. Let's see what happens. And Duke beats Carolina 85-76. Saunders had 15 and 10. Brazel had 20. Carolina, well, I could have just stayed in there. So both guys I upped their tendencies for. They shot bad from the field. It was okay. Alright, so we're going to just simulate one more game, and then we'll check the RPI here, because first RPI comes out. We'll see how Duke and Carolina rank. Carolina, they shouldn't drop, because they lost to the number one team. Like, come on. Alright, well, they dropped one. That's not bad. Against Boston College, Warden went for 29. Clinton went for 27. Duke would destroy Maryland, 118-66. Overall, great team performance. Let's see where these teams rank in terms of RPI. Duke 14 offensive efficiency, 58 on defense. Where's the RPI? Is it not out here? It is. Okay, so decent RPI numbers there. Number 5 rank. Do have a loss in 50. I'm gonna just call that quad 2. Do have a quad 2 loss. 7-2 quad 1. Okay. Were they like 9-2 in road neutral games? Let's look at Carolina's. 42 RPI. Okay, so they would get like a 6 seed or a 7 if the tournament started today. 2-4 in quad 1, a quad 3 loss. So they're going to have to step it up. I guess that quad 3 loss is the loss against Richmond. Yeah, it's got to be the loss against Richmond. Because Georgia Tech is good. USC is good. Florida State is good. Yeah, it's a loss to Richmond. So we'll simulate down here to the last game in the Battle of Tobacco Road here this season. It'll be at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Let's see what Duke and Carolina can do going into that matchup. Where do we rank in the ACC? So Carolina's middle of the pack. Duke is fighting. Let's switch to Duke then. Duke is fighting for a spot atop the ACC. Duke just, wow. That was another good game. Another good game. 114-101 against Georgia Tech. And Duke is going crazy. They'll play Florida State. Good team. Team they've already lost to. They beat them this time. Now they'll get Boston College this time. Destroy them by 15. Destroy by 15 is crazy. They beat them by 15. This team's looking really good. Looking really worthy of this number 1 ranking that they have. 1-point win at Miami here, who is a good team. So I'm thinking right now they've kind of got to be the number 1 RPI team and number 1 in the conference. They are. Carolina jumped up, but not enough to really contend for the ACC title. So Georgia Tech is second. If Duke wins one of the next 2, yeah, if Duke wins one of the next 2, they can claim an ACC title. See what our RPI is looking like. Number 3, 10-2 quad 1, 6-1 quad 2, 13-1 in road neutral. What's the... So number 8 national offense. Number 106 national defense. That could come back to bite us. Really could. Let's check out some of these game logs for Duke since we blanked out after that Carolina game. Brazel 35 there. 26 and 7 for Saunders. 29 and 10 for Saunders. Have yourself a game, young man. Sinville 7, 7 and 10. Is he going to go to the draft? Yeah. Hoping he'd come back, but he won't. 17 and 10. He almost had another triple double there. Wow, yeah, he's gone. He's a good defender too. He's gone. He's gone. 30 and 4 for Saunders. Okay, 23 for Brazel. What about this Miami game here? That's a good game. It's a good game. Both our stars showed out in that one. Carolina just lost to Georgia Tech. Hurts. They could have pretty much clinched it for Duke here. They would bounce back by destroying Wake Forest. Warden with 36. Wow, they lost to Miami here too. Clinton had a good game there. Wow, they lost this game to Virginia. Tough sledding for the Tar Heels. Tough sledding. They did avenge that loss to Florida State. Well, let's see where our players, what are they averaging? Okay. What about Duke? What about Duke? Okay. All right. So, last thing, let's check North Carolina's offensive and defensive efficiency numbers. Number 50 defense, number 14 offense. Where was Duke at that? Number 8 offense is crazy for the way they've been blanket out. RPI did go up. That's good. 4 and 7 quad 1. Now 8 and 1 in quad 3. 8 and 5 in road neutral. Let's see what Duke does here. If they can clinch this ACC title here. The home game against Virginia. And they do by 1 point. So they've clinched an ACC title. Saunders 23 and 13. Brazel had 19. So now Duke, they have an ACC regular season title. They also have a loss to Carolina. It's going to help Carolina's RPI in their seeding. 21 and 6 for Saunders. 21 and 6 for Nicholson. Okay. So let's go ahead. Well, let's go through the ACC tournament first. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's see what happens here. We'll simulate through the semifinals of the ACC tournament. Hopefully we have no injuries, and we don't. North Carolina makes it. Duke does not. North Carolina 3-point win here against Miami. Miami's gun here. Former All-American number 25 player. Averaging 22 points. Might be the ACC player of the year. Dropped a triple-double, 18-point triple-double in college. That's pretty crazy. But it wasn't enough to get past the Tar Heels, who would then go to avenge a loss against Georgia Tech. Lavender went crazy. But Warden did too. Clinton as well, 27 and 7 game for him. Smalls had 21 and 3. Yeah, Smalls is gone. I'd like to see him come back, but he's gone. So it's good we got the 2 bigs. So now they'll play Florida State. Duke lost in the first round, so that's 2 back-to-back losses for the Blue Devils. Things might not be looking good for them in the tournament. They should have. I thought they would have 30 wins going into the tournament, but now they're sitting at 27 and 5. The Tar Heels sitting at 25 and 8. And if they were to get this win against Florida State, that might bump them up to a 3. That might bump them up to a 3, because I think right now they're on the 4 line. And they do get the win. So both of our teams here will be hanging ACC banners. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and allocate those conference championships. Let me pull this up. So let's see. Duke gets a regular season, and Carolina gets a conference tournament ACC title, and they both make the NCAA tournament. So Duke's at 91, Carolina is sitting at 78. So this tournament is going to dictate how the score goes here. Let's see where our guys line up at. So Carolina, even though they won, they're still on the 4 line, and they'll play Monmouth. Duke was able to retain a 1 seed, and not just retain a 1 seed despite losing their last 2 games, the number 1 overall seed. So Carolina, they'll probably get Pitt in the next round, who's a really good team, and their 1 seed is Texas. They could play a decent Arkansas team or a really good USC team that they've already lost to. Duke's side of their bracket, Miami or Rutgers, and Miami is a good team. They gave Duke sweats this year. Then there's Arizona. Oh, Fresno State's a pretty good 12 seed. I'd hate to have that. And Southern Miss, that's a crappy draw for South Carolina. They might lose that game. So let's simulate through the first week of the tournament. See where we land at. North Carolina had an injury, so I got to quit. North Carolina won. Neighbors got injured. He's our first guy off the bench. Kind of like the 6th starter. So that's going to suck. That's going to suck. That is going to suck. Let's drop this to 8. Alright, so that's what we're going to go with here. Actually, let's drop y'all all down to 10. I need these guys playing minutes. So who's got good stamina? Warden does. I need you playing pretty much the whole game. You too, Clint. I need both of y'all playing pretty much the whole game. King doesn't have good stamina. Alright, that's what we'll go with. That's what we'll go with. What's King at? 86. What's Smalls at? 82. Let's drop y'all both down to 30. Well, let's drop y'all both down to 31. Alright. So hopefully Neighbors being out doesn't impact this too much. But Warden had 45, 7, and 5. 4 stocks. He had an amazing game. Okay, good for him. Duke's going to get UMBC. See, do we want to edit this any? I feel like I want to drop this to 8. Even if I play 9 guys, I want the default for 8. Let's drop you down. Alright, I think this is going to work. Let's see what happens, boys. Hopefully we have no more injuries. Neither roster can really deal with that right now. So Duke absolutely destroyed UMBC. Brazel 33, 3, and 5. Saunders 29, 14, 5, 4, and 3. What a stat line. Wow. Okay. I just won't play in the right style for him to be successful. Okay. It makes sense. He needed more tempo. He just needed more tempo. Brazel another 25-point game. So South Carolina had a really tough draw here for a 4 seed, but they managed it. They managed it. So we'll get them in the Sweet 16. Let's see what Carolina was able to do. They were able to beat Pitt. Okay, so they were able to beat Pitt. Warden had 33, 10, 3, and 2. So good game for him. And they're going to get either the 1 seed or a team that already beat them. And here in the John M. Huntsman Center, I believe that's in Minnesota, I want to say. They'll play Texas. And Duke in the Carrier Dome. So in New York, they'll get South Carolina. So both teams advance to the Sweet 16. Let's see what happens in the second weekend of the tournament. Let's see who can advance to the Final Four, if any. And Duke loses in the Sweet 16 in a heartbreaker by 2 points. Saunders left it all on the floor here with a 39.8 rebound performance. 4 or 5 from the three-point line. Just couldn't stop South Carolina. Just couldn't stop them. I'm trying to figure out what lost us the game. Maybe free throws. Yeah, it was free throws because they shot like 8 more. So Duke does not advance to the Elite 8. They ended at the Sweet 16. North Carolina does advance to the Elite 8. Warden with 18-8. Let's see what they did in the Elite 8. And they made it to the Final Four. Okay. So it's getting interesting here. Warden, marvelous game, 27-7. They'll get Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State always does good in my Sims for whatever reason. Final Four set, Villanova and Michigan State on the other side. On our side, we have Carolina and Oklahoma State. Here at, for whatever reason, St. Francis's Arena. Let's see if North Carolina can advance. And they do. They blank. Absolutely blank Oklahoma State. And Warden here, he and Clinton are both flirting with Final Four MOP. The winner, if they beat Michigan State, it'll be whoever does best in that game. So let's see what happens here. And North Carolina does it. An amazing finish. Both semifinals weren't particularly entertaining, but we got a close game here. North Carolina had a fight from behind, had a 40-point second half, held Michigan State to 26, and Warden wins the Final Four MOP. All right, so let's go ahead and update this. Duke does not get a 30-win season, but Carolina does. Not going to lie, guys, I kind of didn't see it happening this way. I thought Duke would advance further, but they didn't. So we'll add Duke's one Sweet 16 here. We'll add Carolina to Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, and National Championship. So 8 seasons have passed. The score is 93-92 Duke. We've won 6 of the 8 national championships. That's crazy. It's crazy. Insanity, some would say. All right, so let's go ahead and save it because I want to keep my wins. Let's see who gets what. So I guess Duke just got a Defensive Player of the Year. So who's leaving? Wow, point guard Rasmussen. Duke's got a lot of guys leaving. Brazel's leaving. Sinvel's leaving. Duke's gonna have, wow, mass exodus at Duke. Mass exodus. Mass exodus. So it might look a little scary for Duke next season. Might look a little bit scary. North Carolina got everybody coming back but Clinton and Smalls. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens there. What do we want to up here? I think we want to up discipline. All right, what do we have next? Duke, nobody I want to add for charisma. There's a guy here, but as soon as I drop my guy, that guy's gonna disappear, so I'm good. Carolina, no teachers I want to add. Alright, so we're good. We are good. Alright. So we did have a pair of All-Americans for Duke and Carolina this year. Let's see what they ended up doing. Say Carolina's guy played on the East right here. No, right here. So he had 7 and 5, decent year or a decent game. And Duke, their guy's on the West Coast. He's right here. Did not have a good game. Did not. Okay. All right, so save. Let's look at the awards, and we'll call it a day. Did we get another scholarship? Nope, we didn't. I thought maybe we would get another one because that guy declared, but it's only if someone transfers, not for early declaration, which they should give you one if a guy declares early. But it is what it is. Let's look at these awards. So here's our Player of the Year. I think he won it last year, didn't he? Yeah, he did. So good. So good on him. Good on him. All right. So Saunders won the Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 21 points, 8 rebounds, 2.3 blocks. Okay. Good for him. Good for him. No first team All-American. Saunders does get a second team. Is Saunders a candidate for this Hall of Fame? Is he? Is he? Is he? I might have to look at that. Because he now has a D. Well, hold on. Let's just. Yeah, he probably is. Freshman All-American, Conference Freshman of the Year, Freshman All-Conference. First team Conference Player of the Year, second team All-American, DPOY. And I think we won at least one national champion. Well, we did win at least one during his time. I think we won one national championship and got to like 2 Final Fours. So he might be eligible. He might be. Now, we tied with Georgia Tech and we beat them in the game that we played them in. So it's technically us, but they gave it to them. Roy's Coach of the Year. Saunders, of course, ACC Player of the Year. Clinton got first team all ACC as well as Saunders, which we knew. Brazel and Auger got second team. Warden got second team as well. Okay, and Maselli's was a all ACC freshman. Alright, so that's it, guys. I'm calling it a day. I'm going to do the input on Saunders, see if he's worthy of that spot. If so, I'll make him a card. But until next time, peace.